I would like to be remembered as a person who wanted to be free, so other people would also be free. Rosa Parks. Rosa Louise Macaulay was born on February 4, 1913, in Tuskegee, Alabama. She grew up in a time when the laws of segregation divided black and white communities across the South. Raised by her grandparents, Rosa learned early on about the importance of standing up for her rights. Her mother, a teacher, instilled in her the value of education, and young Rosa attended a segregated one-room school. Despite the challenges, her early life experiences laid the foundation for her strong sense of justice. Before her famous bus protest, Rosa Parks was an active member of the civil rights movement. She joined the Montgomery chapter of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, NAACP, in 1943, serving as its secretary. Parks worked closely with civil rights leaders like E.D. Nixon, who were already working to dismantle segregation in Montgomery. Her involvement in the NAACP connected her with efforts to fight racial injustices in schools, courts, and the workplace. On December 1, 1955, Rosa Parks boarded a bus in Montgomery and sat in the colored section. As the bus filled, the driver demanded that she and several other black passengers give up their seats for white passengers. Rosa refused. Her quiet defiance led to her arrest for violating the city's segregation laws, sparking outrage and mobilizing the African American community. In the 1950s, Montgomery's buses were governed by Jim Crow laws that required racial segregation. Black passengers had to sit in the back, while whites occupied the front. If the bus became full, black passengers were expected to give up their seats. This law reflected the deep-seated racial inequality prevalent in Montgomery and the South at the time. Rosa Parks' refusal to give up her seat wasn't an impulsive act. It was a deliberate stand against an unjust system. While Parks wasn't the first person to resist bus segregation, her arrest sparked a citywide movement. She later explained that her refusal was a matter of principle. She was simply tired of being mistreated. Rosa Parks' arrest galvanized the black community in Montgomery to launch a boycott of the city's buses. Led by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the Montgomery Bus Boycott lasted for 381 days. It placed enormous financial pressure on the bus system, and eventually, the Supreme Court declared segregation on public buses unconstitutional. In 1957, Parks and her husband, Raymond, moved to Detroit due to ongoing harassment and death threats. While living in Detroit, Parks continued her civil rights work, collaborating with leaders like Congressman John Conyers, for whom she worked as an assistant. Despite being in a city without formal segregation, she remained active in the fight for racial equality and social justice. During the 1960s, Rosa Parks remained deeply involved in the civil rights movement. She participated in protests and demonstrations, and her activism extended beyond the South. In Detroit, she continued to work on behalf of African Americans who were struggling against economic and social injustices in the North. In the 1970s, Rosa Parks' legacy continued to grow. She became an iconic figure in the civil rights movement, speaking at events and receiving numerous awards. Her commitment to justice remained unwavering, as she focused on improving education and fighting for the rights of political prisoners. During the 1980s, Parks co-founded the Rosa and Raymond Parks Institute for Self-Development. The organization aimed to empower young people through education and leadership programs. Parks spent much of her time mentoring and inspiring the next generation of activists. In the 1990s, Rosa Parks received numerous honors, including the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 1996 and the Congressional Gold Medal in 1999. Despite her advancing age, she remained active in social justice causes and continued to speak about the importance of equality. As she entered her final years, Rosa Parks' impact on American history became universally recognized. She continued to receive accolades and honors for her lifetime of service. Even in her 80s and 90s, she never wavered in her dedication to civil rights. Rosa Parks passed away on October 24, 2005, at the age of 92. Her death marked the end of an extraordinary life, but her legacy lived on. Parks became the first woman to lie in honor in the U.S. Capitol Rotunda, an extraordinary recognition of her impact on the nation. Thousands of people attended her funeral, reflecting the deep respect and gratitude felt for her role in shaping history. Rosa Parks is celebrated as a national hero and a global symbol of resistance to racial injustice. Her courage on that Montgomery bus ignited a movement that transformed America. Parks has been honored with statues, schools named in her memory, and countless awards. Her legacy continues to inspire activists fighting for civil rights and social justice around the world. Rosa Parks has become an enduring figure in American and global popular culture. Her story is often referenced in discussions about civil rights, racial equality, and activism. Parks has been featured in books, documentaries, and works of art, symbolizing the strength of one individual to inspire profound societal change. Rosa Parks' life has been depicted in numerous films and television shows, including documentaries about the civil rights movement. One of the most notable depictions of her story is the 2002 TV film, The Rosa Parks Story, starring Angela Bassett. Her pivotal role in American history continues to be highlighted in various media projects. Rosa Parks' influence even extends into music. Artists from different genres have referenced her courage and legacy in their work. For example, in 1998, the rap group Outkast released the song Rosa Parks, which paid homage to her and the impact of her actions. Rosa Parks' decision to remain seated on a segregated bus changed the course of history. Her courage ignited the Montgomery Bus Boycott and launched the broader civil rights movement. Beyond that, her lifelong activism and dedication to justice made her a beloved icon. Parks' legacy reminds us that one person's act of defiance can spark change on a national and global scale, and her story continues to inspire those fighting for justice and equality today.